Oh my gosh, I'm having one of those weeks where like anything technology based that I touch just falls into a million pieces. Just made a video, no microphone on whatsoever. I do apologize for the poor audio. Anyway, mistakes happen. So let's get into part 3 of some of the everyday things of life in Japan that really surprise foreigners, possibly because we've just never seen it before, or because of, you know, the condition of Japanese culture. It's extremely unique, extremely special, and that is why we are seeing such an influx of foreign visitors to Japan to experience this really unique culture. So let's get started with one extremely important point, and one of the main talking points, I think, for many people coming to Japan, even if they don't discover the culture very deeply. Everyone comments on the food. It is, of course, there's, you know, generic Western stuff. I can see a Starbucks from where I'm sitting. There's sandwiches and all this stuff. But I think the best and the most surprising experience for me was probably the first time going to an izakaya. Everything about it is unique. One small point would be the noise levels, the welcoming, the calling, the dynamic in there is like so exciting. And throughout the many interviews that I've done with foreigners, of course, people say that the omakase sushi experience is amazing, or the ryokan dinner or breakfast is very unique and very different to what they're used to. But I would say one of the most exciting, like the thing that people talk about that makes their eyes light up, is an izakaya experience, because it is just so different. In my culture, we tend to order our own dishes. So I'll order my dish, my husband will order his. Whereas the beautiful thing in an izakaya is that it is so inclusive. Like, you order a range of small things, you get many different flavors, and throughout that, I feel like you get more experience within one meal. It's also very exemplary of the Japanese attitude, I think, of like inclusion and connection. Plus, it's a really nice way to be able to eat lots of little things without dedicating yourself to one plate. The izakaya experience is very wild, I think. Well, not wild, but it's just very different to the Japan that you see when you watch a sado ceremony, or when you see a geisha in Kyoto. You know, many people who come to Japan, these are the things that we hear about doing and seeing. And I think there's an attitude of deep calm and serenity throughout Japanese culture. But the izakaya is like completely heads off, get the highballs rolling, like just wild and fun and dynamic. And it's something I would say, actually, I really recommend to most foreigners who come here, is go and find a little hole-in-the-wall izakaya. It doesn't have to be fancy. There doesn't have to be a big line of people standing outside. It's going to be good. It's going to be an experience that you're just not going to forget. I'd say another point is probably the food itself. There were so many things that I tried for the first time in Japan. I think many foreigners are surprised by the neta on sushi. Of course, we know like maguro or like sake or even natto, I think people know about. But then there's so many different types of sea creatures that appear on the top of the sushi, and we're thinking, I have no idea what that is. And quite honestly, there are fish names that I know in Japanese that I actually don't know the names of in English. And even when you translate it, it's sort of like some sort of Japanese amberjack swordfish. And I'm like, what actually is that? Because there's such a selection of fish and sea creatures in Japan that we just don't see in other countries. But it does make me kind of sad when I interview someone and they're like, yeah, I don't eat fish. And I'm like, oh, but like, have you tried Japanese fish? Yeah, no, it's such an experience. And as a non-meat eater, as a pescatarian myself, I do feel like living in Japan is an extremely comfortable eating dynamic for me. Minasan, zehi, please leave a comment and let me know, what are your favorite foods? どちらの食べ物は一番好きですか? ぜひコメントお願いします。Just on the food topic, uni, an interesting one. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I really dislike it. I think it depends probably on the freshness or perhaps where it's sourced. I don't really know. If you do know any more information about uni, do let me know. And uni is something that I don't think you find in my country, in the UK, whereas in my father's country, in Chile, awabi and uni are very popular and not so expensive. They don't have that sort of like fancy, gorgeous association that they do in Japan. But yeah, anyway, random uni point there. Do leave your comments if you have any more information. Okay, so this is somewhat related to the point that I made earlier, and it is about how Japan kind of has it all. You know, you've got the sort of like the sado and the calm, the way that people are so considerate of the other people around them, the peace of Japan, and even like the peace of daily life in Japan. Like, it isn't stressful, you haven't got people barging past you, or shouting at you, or swearing at you. There's a sense of order and calm running in the veins of Japanese society and culture, which is a beautiful thing and a really comforting condition to live in. But then there's also the wild side. You know, there's like the vibrant streets in the nighttime, or the yokocho, or the more sort of upbeat, really super genki music and things like that. So I feel like on every single level, Japan has its own little way of doing things, and that resonates with foreigners. I think there is something to be said for there being something in Japan for everyone, and something that you would not be able to find outside of Japan, even if it's an opportunity to discover yourself more deeply through sado or kendo or nature and hikes in the mountains of Japan. Like, it kind of just has this, it's like a key. Japan is like a key, and you access a side of yourself that you kind of always knew that you had but could never quite reach. It's really difficult to explain, and sorry, I'm getting all philosophical here, but there is a sort of beauty and a magic to Japan which cannot really be explained in words. It's more a feeling, and that, I think, is why so many people come here, to discover and to feel that feeling. You can read about it, you can look at other people's YouTube videos about it, but you cannot truly understand the feeling until you come here. I went to the shop a couple of days ago and I saw something that really surprised me. This is, I don't really know how to express it, but just the consideration of certain stores. There are a selection of different glasses with different prescription strengths. So for people, I don't know, people who want to like sign a document but forgot their glasses, there's a little selection of glasses there. I mean, just like, that is amazing. That is not anything I've ever seen in any other country. Just the like consideration and the attention to detail. I think this is sort of like basically the crux of all the other points I've talked about, is the fantastic, flawless observation to detail that Japanese have. There's a level of care that Japanese have towards things which I think is pretty rare and extremely precious, and something that I feel inspired by, actually. Okay, I was going to talk about the way that Japanese food combines things that you wouldn't necessarily think as like, it wouldn't be your first point of call. For example, a while ago in Family Mart, I saw crisps with chocolate on it, and I thought, that's weird. And I bought them and I tried them, and they were really, really good. So the combination is something kind of wacky and wild, and things you'd think, no way. But like recently there's been this trend going around. You get a box of Pringles chips, and then you pour chocolate, melted chocolate, and you wait for it to set. I actually did this myself. It's on my Instagram if you want to check out the result. Very excited. Let's give that a nice big... It really worked. And yet in my mind I was thinking, why is this a trend on Instagram now? This is something Japan thought of years ago. Like, so I love the fact that like Japan is quite open to interesting combinations of flavors, and it just generally tends to work. Gosh, I'm really going to bring the tone down now. Do bear with me, but this is something that really does surprise foreigners. Japanese toilet seats. Yeah, when you sit down, it's warm. And it's sort of like surprising, because like our toilet's just basic. You know, we don't have all these funny little buttons, and when you first come to Japan, or when you don't know kanji or whatever like that, you just look at all these buttons, and it's sort of like a space craft. Like, is it about to take off? What happens if I press this and that? Like, it's such a mystery. Going to the toilet in and of itself in Japan is like a complete mind-boggling experience. But I think, okay, let's keep this nice, let's keep this polite. But once you experience what some of those buttons do, there is no going back. It's just, it feels wrong to kind of like use a toilet that doesn't have a Japanese toilet seat. I do not know why Japan has not maxed out on this as a huge business opportunity. Why are we not exporting toilet seats around the world? Because I know anyone who's had the experience of a Japanese toilet seat is like, I can't go back. Like, how could you possibly go to the toilet without one? So yeah, anyway, if you are a business person looking to like enter into your own new business opportunities, Japanese toilet seats, get them out there, get them out into the world, and please get them to the UK for when I visit. Right, I'm actually starting to sweat a little bit. I think jeans days are maybe over for the rest of the year. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. 今日はありがとうございました。また今度。